Fuck. Hello. Welcome back to Cargo Studios Remnant Lunar Archon Session 68. Hope you're doing well. I'm tired and hungry, but that's okay. We'll figure that out later. That's my problem to solve and not yours, YouTube viewer. Now, your problem to solve is whether or not you like and subscribe to the video. I don't think I've ever asked the viewers to like and subscribe at all, but here I am. It's the first thing that came to mind. Anywho.
Oh, finally do
What's our
it.
campaign? The Messengers, part-time adventurers, full-time marriage counselors.
Yep, that's it.
What?
Very broke.
Where
Please
did
say
that
yes.
come from?
I think last week, because it's happened
Oh no, we did do
several
that,
times.
didn't we? We like lectured the wizard on marriage counseling, and I thought we were gonna get killed.
You did. Y'all lectured him on general relationship stuff that was very general, but he was like, okay, whatever. And then
Well,
he
before we
ultimately
get
made
too
up
deep
his
into that, we should probably do
We
recap.
should recap. That's a good point. I think, I don't know, who was it last time? I'm not sure.
Me.
Was it you? Okay.
It was me.
Well, in
Without a
that
doubt.
case, perfect. Sam, would you like to? I almost said John. but I
Sure,
caught
why not?
myself.
Let me pull up my notes.
Right, you are the person that takes notes.
Oh yeah.
Last
Totally.
week was not the only time that the Messengers have done marriage counseling, by
It's
the way.
true.
There was a time before John had joined the party.
Does it
I was gonna say
technically
John was
count?
not present for this.
You know, does it
You
technically
missed
count
out on
as...
what's it called?
You did counsel a
Cloak of
widow and then
Billowing.
resurrect her husband. Does that count as well?
Maybe.
I think so.
Unfridged a husband.
You did unfridge the husband. I do. That's apparently
And
also a
fridged one.
thing, Sam. I apparently fridge a lot of husbands in character backstories. I don't know why. It just kind of happens. Often fridge a few wives.
fridge?
Kill.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Well, bridging is particularly when it is typically a female character, like a wife or a daughter, is used as emotional fuel for the main character, usually a male.
Yeah.
So think the Taken series.
It's when a character exists for no other purpose other than to further the main character's story by dying.
Yeah.
Such as Aragon's father.
Or Harry Potter's parents.
Or both of Harry Potter's parents, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or
I'm sure there are.
Jeffries.
But who? I'm sure there's many others as well. Okay.
Anyways,
Anywho.
aside from
Recap.
marriage counseling, our party also does theater. No, let's
True.
see. Yes, last week was Friday evening. Garand and John went to the theater to make a deal, and we spent like half of our time like trying to figure out what deal we were gonna make. So we're gonna do. I think the final deal, we haven't signed it yet, but the final deal was we are contracted for the first 2 days. We get 60% of the house, and we pay $150 per night. In a lump sum. We are meeting at 11 a.m. on Saturday to sign the contracts. We all slept, and then in the morning we went to speak to Simeon and somehow convinced him to give the book to Sasha and didn't get killed in the process. I think that's where we ended up.
Gambit got the closest to being killed. Didn't quite get killed. Especially because, you know, even though he is the court wizard, he can't just slaughter people on a whim.
Why not?
Listen.
I feel like the court wizard would have the most power to do that.
I mean, that's fair. he could probably come up with a reason. But...
He could probably make somebody think that they did it, and then there you go.
That's fair. He probably could do that. He does have the capability. Yeah, so it is now Saturday, the 10th of June, year 417 at 8 a.m. You have finished speaking to Simeon. I don't know if y'all wanted to roleplay. I think we might have moved past. I don't think we moved past it. But y'all ended up leaving Simeon's, leaving the clock tower, and going with Asakayori to go get breakfast. I don't know that y'all wanted to roleplay that or just say that it happened. If y'all have questions for her or anything, we can go through those. Or you can move on to whatever else you're doing.
Does he have a teleportation circle?
Yes, he does. There's
Epic.
also, I mean, technically, yes, he does have one in that he has made himself, but there's also one in the castle with a, I mean, it's tends to be for official business, but also you could just get to use it. Goes to each of the major cities.
Fancy.
Or, well, each of the major cities has one. So, Vacuo, Coquinia, Sheer, Reef, and Coral. Because while Coral and Sheer may be relatively close, they're still like not quite 600, but around a couple hundred miles apart. Alright, y'all enjoy a nice breakfast. She picks up the tab, assuming y'all let her.
Hey, if somebody's paying for food, I'm taking that. Especially since I don't need it in the first place.
Ayo.
John doesn't have to eat.
Nope.
You have to breathe, don't you? I think it's, or was it?
No, I don't have to breathe either.
Yeah,
like I'm
food,
immune
drink,
to
or
Toxic
breath.
Cloud.
You just don't.
Oh, we can throw
I
him
feel
into
like
a hole,
that
no
detail was
consequences.
just kind of glossed over.
I totally could just get thrown in the portable hole all day long.
Yeah. I kind of forgot you could do that, so yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't require food, drink, or to breathe.
I think it also gives you like advantage on spells like Stinking Cloud and stuff. It doesn't make you immune because I think the
No,
spells,
I think. Well, I thought it made me immune
I'm pretty
to stuff
sure
like
they
that.
stipulate that if a creature doesn't breathe, they have advantage. Let me check.
I don't know. I have Stinking Cloud. Give me a second. I'll check. Stinking Cloud.
Do you have to blink?
Creatures that don't need to breathe are immune.
It's Cloud Kill that
mean,
affects
where does
creatures
your
even if they don't need to breathe. Yeah, Cloud Kill doesn't care. One's much
Do
more
you
powerful.
have to blink?
Good question. Probably.
Yes. I'm gonna say yes because I'm not gonna make the race completely unblinking because that's creepy. Music.
That'd be really creepy.
There's the difference between choosing to blink and just naturally blinking.
They
It doesn't mean
naturally blink.
it doesn't mean he has to not blink. It just means
doesn't
maybe
have
he does it on purpose.
No, they have to. I'm gonna decide that right now. They have to blink. Which, you know, I'm saying that. I mean, I'm saying that because if I ever decide to involve Weeping Angels into this game, that's gonna be an important note. So, I'm gonna say yes, he does. Though I don't intend to have Weeping Angels in this particular campaign, at least not yet. Keep a watch out on future campaigns. Anywho,
Are you immortal?
That is yet to be determined. I'm in my 40s.
Cool.
Oh yeah, I think it's like 2.
If even.
Yeah, 2 months, like, times 4.
Yeah, I think it's literally like, what is it? Hey, you're like 6 months old.
Oh, so 2 months.
Nice.
Oh, not even. Yeah.
Not even a year.
I think it has no life experience. Got it.
No physical life experience.
All right. Well, we were told where the printing place was.
I don't remember if you were, but sure.
I thought
the rabbit trail.
Even if you weren't told, John would know that you would find printers, like people that do printing.
Oh, we're going to find printers. Yeah, let's do that.
That you would find them in the merchant district to the southwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, let's go do that.
Yeah, the goal is going to be before the meeting to get those things printed up, and then after the meeting is the contract is signed, then it'll look like the end of Newsies.
What?
Just newspapers everywhere, just pages and pages and pages.
Okey-doke.
Fine life.
Cap-
Carrying the better through it all.
So you wanted to have the title at the top of the blood that pumped through vein?
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna copy it how you have it and put it in the chat. And if anyone wants to mention edits, and how many would you like to get printed?
Well, after everybody's confirmed that it doesn't need any editing, like all the spelling and whatever punctuation or whatever is right, then what is their charge for one?
Let's see. The charge for...
And how does bulk reduce price?
So, let's see. Where did I have the thing? I did do that. The standard price is 5 copper pieces for 4 pages, which for anyone on the YouTube side, I did a lot of math. And based on the technological level of this world, a page of printing costs roughly 0.6 copper pieces per page. So I'm gonna say 5.
2 for 1 special.
Did you take into account the scarcity of
what?
Gold and platinum?
Scarcity of gold and platinum doesn't apply to the production of paper and ink.
Or I guess.
Plus, most of the time, big prints like this are going to be by bigger businesses doing stuff such as flyers, which I did have I did type down what I was thinking. Roughly, you can get 80 pages per gold piece. An individual printer, however, there are several printers around, would max out at about... Well, what's the time frame? When do you need them made by?
I thought you said each page was going to be 0.6 of a copper.
Each page, so it's 5 copper for 4 pages because they need to make a bit of a profit. But on the production side, hey, look, another bot. Bye.
So 80
Guards, get him.
Gold. Okay.
Yeah, 1.25 copper pieces per page, so roughly 80 to a gold. Thanks for the follow, bot. Appreciate you.
Okay. I was thinking it was going to be something like, 1,000 papes, just 5 gold pieces. But nope.
No, I mean, it's... Per page, it's not that expensive. But when you start, increasing the amount, it starts getting more expensive.
So it's the reverse. It's like bulk is bad.
I mean, if you get to the, depending on how much you want to buy, they may be able to give you a discount. But the standard is, at least for this, would be like 80 pages for a gold piece, at least on the math side of things. But with persuasion, and depending on how much you want to bulk buy, the price could be reduced. Are you going to try and haggle? In part, depend on how much you want to print. How much are you looking to print?
This is for our performance?
Yep.
Who else going to be part of the performance again?
Technically, it's just John and Grand, but there's nothing wrong with you guys being audience plans and
ushers and
being hype men.
stuff like that.
What happened to the circus?
Circus?
Or whatever we did in was it Sheer?
The petting zoo?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were like town criers in that one.
This is like a stage setting.
This is
Jack, so
more Broadway.
I feel like
setting.
just Thicket standing on stage as a stag is not going to be as impressive.
Wait,
this
what?
Go around.
Wasn't like Doug and like Gambit like a magician of some like trading places and things? That was,
Oh
Alright,
yeah.
I know what I'm gonna go for. So, are you okay with just setting a DC?
I am, but I would like to know how much you're trying to print.
Okay, so I'm wanting to go for like 250, 250 papes.
Okay.
For 2 gold pieces.
I'm gonna have Newsies stuck in my head all night now.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Just remember, headlines don't sell papes, newsies sell papes.
Okay. So you want to basically haggle it down from 3.1 gold pieces roughly to 2 gold pieces?
Yep.
Okay.
Like a 30% discount or something. 35, somewhere in that neck of the woods.
Okie doke.
Alright.
Go ahead and I've got the DC in my head. Go ahead and roll the persuasion.
Am I getting any haggle assist?
Can I assist by being cute?
Do you have proficiency in persuasion or cuteness?
I am a cat.
That doesn't give you trust me, I've met a lot of cats. It doesn't necessarily give you persuasion or proficiency in cuteness. So,
I have +1.
Not everyone actually
have
likes
expertise in persuasion.
Gambit has persuasion?
Mhm,
With expertise?
expertise.
Okay, yeah. You can do it with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually, I mean, I don't know. Which one of you... I think it's Garand is more persuasive by an amount.
Mine is 8. I think yours
Gambit's
is 7.
more.
Gambit.
Gambit's is higher than that.
Oh, if Gambit's is higher, then I
Mhm.
should just Gambit. Hey, Gambit. Make this happen.
Yeah.
Gambit, you persuade. You've got a +10.
With the ADV.
Listen, dude. Let me cut you a deal, and then Gambit lays out what Garon does. Just whispered in his ear.
My assistance would be something along the lines of, well, as we pass these out, we'll be like, I want these wonderfully printed, and we'll be like walking advertisements as well.
Okay, roll persuasion.
Yeah, we'll include you as one. We'll say you're sponsor. You're one of our sponsors.
All right, so you got advantage because I'm helping you because you have the better plus.
Oh,
I would like to note it's a good thing there's a roll associated because I, as a person, I'm an influencer. I'll pay you an exposure argument, which you just made.
Which he made
No, not exactly.
in plenty.
You literally just
A while
did.
ago.
We'll say you're one of our sponsors.
Because we are paying them.
You are paying.
We are paying them.
So it's not so bad as to say, give us 250 papers for free. Anywho, go ahead and make your persuasion check.
It's just like sweetening the deal. Into the tower or into the chat?
Into the chat. I mean, I guess into the tower might make sense, but in the chat's fine. That way y'all can get excited about it.
I'm going into...
Good thing you had advantage.
23, that's pretty good.
With some talking, with some smooth talking, they do settle for 2 gold pieces.
Woohoo!
They're still making a profit of 40 silver, roughly. So they're not. Given your description and yada yada, your smooth talking, which you're apparently quite good at, they accept.
Alright.
250 peppers.
Alright, yep, my money, my small pile of money is dwindling. But alright, paid in full. There you go.
Appreciate it. We should be able to have that to you. Do you have the printout for me?
Hey, I mean, I haven't scrolled out. I wrote it down, so it's like on a scroll.
All right. And is anyone going to try and edit this? I mentioned it when I put it in the chat.
Nope, looks good.
Okay,
Does it need
Yeah.
to be?
Where'd you put it? Which
it is
chat
in
is it
the Fantasy Grounds chat. The blood that pumped through vein. Come and see the great musicians, John Houston and Grant Evanstar, the very same whose melodies summoned the mysterious and magnificent pair of Tria and the Lord of Coral. Behold the splendor of splendid spinners splattering special spirited sprouts of spoken and sung sagas, featuring music highlights promoting the evening's play and interspersed with selections and requests for those lucky enough chosen. Hurry and hear the heroes who had the attention of multitudes before enjoying a fantastic performance, starting after lunch as a matinee before dinner and the show, only at the Moonlight Muse.
See, it just sounds like such a good ad. Like I want to go to this show, and I'm hosting a show.
Okay. Yeah, it'll only take like an hour.
That's perfect. We've got a little bit of business and then lunch, so we'll be back shortly. There. And so what time is that then? Like he's like that was like 10ish.
It's about 9.
10:30?
So,
Oh, 9. Okay, great. So actually, okay, so
you
we
could
can
just
actually
wait if you wanted, because your meeting's at 11.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's do that.
Third paragraph made Thicket lose a brain cell.
Oh, the splendid spinners splattering special and spirited sprouts of spoken and sung sagas. Yeah. It's only because I'm really good at talking from speech and debate that I can even say that properly.
Thicket's back at 9
The
intelligence.
flyers are of negligible weight as an individual, but I'm gonna say they have a weight of like 4 in a total. I'm gonna type here 250. Bonk.
It's fine. There's 5 of us. We can each take 50.
Okie doke. Going anywhere particular to try and advertise once you get the stuff?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we could start like on our way to where we're going, because we're on our way to meet him at the theater area. So,
Still chatting them out?
yeah, just come on, hey, baby born with 3 heads.
Big boy. Yeah.
Should I turn into something that looks cool?
It's awesome.
2 more pages to write on.
No, ticket. Ticket.
Ticket?
Sorry, I'm too busy thinking about the play. All I thought was of tickets. All the cells of tickets.
I did not turn into a chicken.
Good old chicket. Chicken nuggets. They're cat-shaped chicken nuggets. They're chicken nuggets. Perfect. Anywho, y'all are chatting them out as you go. Let's see. Garand wrote it. So what kind of check should this be?
And then any bonus for
I'm
like
gonna go with an intelligence-based persuasion check for marketing.
That's fantastic.
The nat 20 seems to go
Let's
quite well.
go. Can you feel it, boys?
It's very nice.
I misclicked on hero points and I had pulled off too many, so I had to put one back.
No worries. Okie doke. As y'all get over there, the time does end up getting to 11 as you'll hand out all 250 of your flyers on the way. Pinning some of them up, handing them out, talking to various people. But you eventually arrive at the Moonlight Muse. It's fairly quiet. The front doors are closed currently. The time for the base show on a paper out front.
The ticket guy there, or the halfling
not
that
immediately.
Okay. I'll kind of cough and look around.
You okay, Goran?
Just a little pre-show performance, and so I'm trying to get someone's attention. Hello.
Hi.
So there's nobody in the ticket booth?
Not currently. The window's closed.
Can we just walk in the door and see if we can find him? And there's not like a show going on, so it's not like we're trying to break into a show.
That's true. You're right.
Let's just walk in and try to find him.
Is the door open?
Go, and the door opens smoothly. It is not locked.
There you go.
Stepping inside, you can hear some of the
Roll for door.
performers.
Don't overthink it.
You can hear some of the performers in the theater beyond practicing lines, going over scenes. As you look around, you do see one of the effectively cleaners. What's the good word? I feel bad asking this because it kind of breaks the illusion. What's the nice word for janitor?
Housekeeper.
Custodian.
Custodian. You see,
There you go.
a custodian cleaning, prepping things for the afternoon and evening. Looks over. Oh, the messengers, yeah.
Indeed. Good day, sir. We're looking for.
Yeah, gestures over to the staircase. The boss said you'd come by sometime, so head up there.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Grant's just like, he's all giddy. He's all like, oh, I'm so excited. Maybe we'll get monies.
Garan is so hurting for money. As you go up the staircase, you see the same door that you remember Geppetto having as his office beforehand. Slightly ajar, not enough to see into, but it's open. Assuming you enter in, you'd walk in to see Geppetto sitting at his desk looking over a few different papers. And in addition to him standing there with a glass of water, not even effectively, a glass of water on the desk, standing off to the side, looking out the front window, because there is a window that looks over the street below. The windows before the curtains were pulled shut, as it seemed a lot of these front-facing windows were pulled shut in general, kind of drawing the eye toward the elven woman holding with her hand outstretched on the front of the building. But now the window is open, or at least the curtain is pulled aside, and you see a fairly tall elven woman with this black hair tied into a very tight ponytail behind her in fairly nice, judicial-looking clothing, effectively a fine pantsuit. Just looking out the window, turns her head. Oh, yes, nice to see you all. Come in. Sit down and we'll be able to get things laid out.
Sure.
Perfect. This is, oh, I lost the name. Where is it? Not I, Geppetto. Mike over here is trying to find where he left the name.
Pinocchio.
Very
Lampy.
There it is. Jeanette. Miss Jeanette over here, the lawyer and notary that I've hired for this, has prepared the contract as specified.
Does anyone wake up and we weren't dead?
If you'd like to look over it before we sign.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everything's on the up and up, but we want to.
Pulls out the contract and sets one of them down in front of each of you, and it does appear to have a third in her hands as well. Triplication for record.
Certainly. Are you dropping it in the thing, or is it just okay? Nice.
What's her vibe? Does she seem like, or
That's a long contract.
does she seem like she's trying to pull one over on us?
Make an insight check.
Yeah, can I read this in some way also? Instead of, maybe like a wisdom insight, maybe an intelligence insight. Like Do I know contracts?
Do you know? Does Garon know legal contracts? Is this the kind of thing you'd think you know? I think this would be.
I think John might.
I think probably
given
not. But
he's been a shop owner, but
let's see, what skill would mostly. I feel like this would be a effectively a tool of like contract law. So in this case, it would just be an intelligence check.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll that because
Thicket, you get the sense that she is all business and slightly bored of the affair.
Okay, too wordy for me.
What's with all the nat 20s?
Oh my Lanta, how am I pulling all this off right now?
Alright, both of you take.
Michael, you better not put us in combat because
apparently wouldn't go well for your
Ron's
enemies.
expending all his nat 20s.
You can read it aloud if you're
gonna get like a nap.
Or one of you can read the contract aloud, and who knows, maybe you'll notice something in there. That's a
rental of theater. Owner hereby agrees to rent, and performer agrees to rent the theater for 2 matinee performances to be held on June 10 and June 11. Performances shall commence at 2 o'clock and conclude no later than 4:30. The performer shall pay the owner a non-refundable rental fee of $150 per performance. Shall be due no later than 1 day after the performance. Performer shall receive 60% of the net proceeds from the sale of admission. Owner shall receive 40% within 2 days. Following each performance, owner shall provide performer with a written amount of the admission proceeds and remit to the performer its 60% share. Minimum attendance guarantee: if fewer than 100 audience members attend either performance, and performer shall pay owner an additional 50 gold pieces within 2 days. Well, that's annoying. I hope everybody that took a flyer comes then. Otherwise, we owe him 50 more. Endorsement in consideration of the rent. Where did you have ChatGPT write this or what?
Yes. I mean, I edited it afterward, but I did have an AI get this into legalese because I thought it'd be fun.
Such endorsements shall include, but not limited to, providing testimonials for the theater. Performer shall use the theater solely for the purpose of staging the performances and shall not use the theater for any other purpose without prior written consent. Performer agrees to indemnify and hold harmless owner from and against any and all claims, losses, damages, liabilities, costs, expenses, including reasonable attorney's fees arising out of or in connection with performers' use of the theater.
Well, I have to be honest with you already. Like, yeah, there's some problems I'm seeing, but we'll see what's said with the 20.
I haven't seen anything horrible except for that $50 under attendance fee. Performer agrees that Lord Gorwyn Evenstar, that Stormlord Gorwyn Evenstar shall attend the performance at the theater on June 23rd, 24th, or 25th. In the event that the guest does not attend, the guest performance performer shall pay owner an additional 100 gold pieces within 3 days following the guest performance. This agreement constitutes the entire agreement and understanding between the parties with respect to the subject matter hereof, supersedes all prior or contemporaneous communications, representations, or agreements. This agreement shall be governed by and construed in accordance with the laws of the Kingdom of Vacuo. If any provision of this agreement is held to be invalid or unenforceable, such provision shall be struck, and the remaining provisions shall remain in force and in full force and effect. So something I see off the bat, we only guarantee to perform 2 nights, and then it says something about performing the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, which are not agreed to that we will actually perform nor pay for.
Which, obviously the signature for Garand is not there. Yeah. The performer name is written in, but the signature is not.
That's the biggest thing I see is it says,
the guest performance. Yes, that is those aren't days that you necessarily have to perform, but those are the points at which the
so
Lord
he just has
Evanstar.
to attend a
Yes,
performance.
attend one of the performances on one of those days.
Gotcha. So not necessarily one of ours.
Yes.
Yeah. The point was that we would rent once we had more money to actually properly rent, and they could use their more standard contract as per usual. Once we had that bit of pocket money in the first place. Now, so my questions. Number 4. We did hand out flyers, but as the time constraint limits us to effectively 3 hours or so, 4 hours of word of mouth. I would say that 4 needs to be amended to read, if fewer than 200 total audience members between both performances, and then that would be sufficient to pay that additional 50 gold fee. For number 5, the language is too loose when saying such endorsement shall include but not be limited to providing testimonials for the theatre. One way that we could endorse for the performances might be that we then have to go out and run about and talk about. That's too loose of wording. So, and also too long of time, 6 months. Instead, I would amend that to, or replace that to be a non-compete clause, that we would not hire out to another theatre for 18 months following performances.
Well, no, I don't like that. Not hire out to another theater for 18 months?
I lean back over to John, and I kind of like put the hand up in front of my face and kind of whisper, listen, this is the only place with theatres. We don't really go anywhere with them unless we're planning on going all the way back to Coral in the next 18 months, and that we have to do so. If you want to amend what I'm saying, then feel free. I think that their language on that is too loose, though, for their benefit.
Perhaps this instead.
Well, I mean, an NDA, well, like a non-compete is way worse than just agreeing to quote unquote give them good lip service.
Well, again, I have no plans to perform at any other theatres. Now, that doesn't mean I can't perform, obviously. But a theatre, like an actual theatre, like a company like this one, I can't imagine such a situation where that would come up. But if you think so, then maybe we need to reevaluate that. And then my last concern was number 7, the indemnity. Performer agrees to indemnify and hold harmless owner from and against any and all claims, losses, damages, liabilities, costs, and expenses, including reasonable attorney's fees arising out of or in connection with the performer's use of the theatre. At that point, that wording suggests, oh, well, we don't get any of the 60% payment. It's all losses. They could theoretically do that, and then they would just take all the money.
Yes, however, I would also, in terms of that, point to number 10, the governing law. This agreement shall be governed and construed in accordance with the laws of the Kingdom of Vacuo, which in particular, the Kingdom of Vacuo and the city in particular, does require that additional requirements of sale and allowance be held in connection. And she pipes out, in particular as well, theft, even on a grand scale such as this, is disallowed. And as a standing third party who will be witnessing the agreement, at no point will the amount be held back, as that would certainly itself, I can't remember, break the contract and the terms of the contract.
Well, all right. If you stand by 10 as holding 7 binding to proper recommends, then that's absolutely fine.
In particular, the
so
purpose of 7 is such that if you perhaps break the stage floor, it is liable to you and not to us.
Yes, well, certainly
Or if you hurt an audience member, that is liable to you and not to us.
Certainly, yes. More than reasonable, and that is how I would take it as well. But without the affirmation of 10, solidifying and codifying 7, then 7 becomes its own problem. So if you are stating that by word of mouth, I am sufficient. 10 reads fine, which is why I had no issue with it. So 4 and 5 then are my only remaining questions and concerns. So, John, did you have any thoughts?
As far as 4 goes, it is acceptable to me to swap to the 200 audience members of both performances altogether. However, in such a fact, I would like to increase the additional payment to 75 gold pieces in the event that this doesn't happen, because in that case, it is in regards to 2 nights. But I don't expect it to happen. I expect you'll do well. This is just to guarantee that I am protected against any losses that may occur.
I'm sufficient for the 75. Are you sufficient, John?
Yeah.
All right. 4 has been amended.
And then for 5, edits it on all 3 pages as you're doing this. Jeanette writes it all down. And as for the endorsement, such as in Jeanette, how about if we change such endorsement shall only require, but not be limited to, providing testimonials to the theater. That way, if you choose to perform any additional testimonial or endorsement of our theater, it does not bring any legal action, as restricting you just to that would actually be more binding on your side. But if we do it like this, then it means that we can only require you to give a verbal endorsement, as opposed to any, such as in your example, forced additional performances, which I would not think of doing such a thing.
What would I believe you would?
So
that is problematic.
Garon, sidebar.
Yeah, he leans back.
I say we leave this. There's no penalty if we don't. And they are not going to be watching over our shoulder 24/7.
Yes, but you see, if we break the contract and we're still in vacuo when we break the contract, for example, let us say that they wanted our endorsement to be greeters for the final show, and yet we had places to be, then now we've broken the contract, now we owe them restitution.
Oh, endorse further performances at the theater.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
6 months.
No. Definitely strike the at the theater. But
to be clear, the at the theater is for, that's in this theater as opposed to a separate one, though theater is defined previously. What do you think, Jeanette? As the way it reads, that should be fine and would uphold in court as reasonable for performances of the theater.
I think at the theater is a bit stringent. I mean, we can definitely pay you lip service and give you good recommendations on our travels, but we don't plan on sticking around for the next 6 months just to endorse you guys.
Understandable. Changing the word to of instead of at should clear up that potential discrepancy, as instead of requiring a physical presence, it simply requires or points out the existence of performances at this particular theater. Not that you need to be here.
I like that a lot better.
Perfect. Then we're in agreement.
All right. Sign here and here. And
I have a question.
Yes.
So if things go well with the performance, does the money that we get in return also include reimbursement for the money we spent for advertising?
It would not. At no point in the contract has it stipulated that we would provide such advertising. That would be something that would be referred to in an additional contract should we have one. But typically, ad campaigns are performed by the performers as opposed to the theater itself.
So the 60-40 is split with the proceeds, not profit.
Correct.
Okay.
Alright, if that is everything, as she has, assuming you do, Garand, signing it. Bonk. Witnessed by Jeanette Paresi. And would any of you like to witness the contract as well?
Can I sign it?
She hands you the pen, which you might struggle with for a moment, but would be able to presumably write thicket down on the contract as well. And with this triplication, I will take one copy. Mr. McGaldy will have another, and you have the third. Should any events come up, you can find me at the Foresi and Jefferson legal house. I forget. Micah forgets. Legal firm. That's the word. Thank you. Micah's forgetting all sorts of things today. You can find us there to seek any further action. As with many matters, we represent Miss McGaldy, though it doesn't come up to court very often.
There you go. You got signature.
Oh, signature marked. Okie doke. As far as that goes, that's it.
All right. So we need to have a lunch and keep trying to drum up interest, and then we need to be ready for our performance, and then all the monies.
I do notice we are missing Jack. I assume he's getting inside to get to his computer.
Yeah, he wrote
something about that.
Yeah.
So smart sometimes, occasionally.
Yeah.
Hey, Thicket.
Streamer mode really do be making you the last person to know things.
It does.
Yes, Gambit.
When did you learn to read and write? If you're only 6 months old.
I guess the same place I learned how to talk.
The moon?
Yeah.
Cool. Yay.
Alright, as y'all make your way out, you're getting lunch, and what else would you like to do before the performance? You are currently muted, Jack. Don't know if you know that.
I had thought of something and then I forgot. I don't remember it being terribly important though, so.
Do you have anything, John?
I don't believe so.
Okie doke. Listen, Jack currently muted. Hopefully they'll be able to tell us in a minute.
Yeah, I'm good.
Cool beans, and I don't know that Jack has any other things he wants to add. So you're just trying to... Oh, hello, welcome back.
What was the question?
If you had anything you wanted to do between the end of the rental meeting and the performance at 2 o'clock. Which, also for y'all's intelligence checks, all I was going to point out was that the existence of the minimum attendance guarantee, the Yeah, those were the only things that I was going to point out as being potentially, like, basically things that y'all didn't talk about the night before. Everything else is in accordance with what you had decided.
Huzzah!
That sounds good.
I guess technically, like, the severability, the entire agreement clause, and indemnity, stuff like that, y'all didn't specifically mention or talk about, but those are the kind of things that just kind of get included in contracts like this to protect the writers and owners in most cases. Okie doke. Let's see. I will need... did you say y'all were trying to, like, town crier get people in?
Yeah, and keep passing out stuff and keep trying to, like while we're having lunch, maybe we're like, eating a, what would they call it? They wouldn't call it a Subway sandwich. They might call it maybe they'll call it a Long John. I don't know.
Oh, yes, Long John, named after the lumberjack that was famous for his sandwiches. So much so he stopped being a lumberjack. Do.
Extra doo-doos.
So I will need adding advertising. That is going to be a persuasion roll. I do need one of you to make such a persuasion roll.
Gambit will.
Gambit's going to be the front face,
I
gathering
bet-
attention to himself.
Someone come all.
Too bad I can't like intimidate them to attend.
I mean, you could.
I gotta-
I don't know if
Like,
it
do a
helps.
Windows file.
I wouldn't help with a theater thing, so.
I pity the fool who don't come to this show.
Is anyone doing anything in particular to help?
Would an eagle be of help? I can be sparkly.
Gambit persuasion.
With advantage, because I'm
Okay.
also...
With advantage. Come watch. It'll be super exciting. Ooh, that was really bad.
It wasn't really bad. It was all right.
I
Okay.
could be a warhorse, and Gambit could stand on me.
So because it's a getting people in the door, at least immediately, the performance check from Garand and John isn't as big, but Gambit, to get people in the door, I need you to roll a 1d4 and a 1d100.
You want us
one
to roll a
D4.
I want Gambit to roll a d4. Very nice. And then a 1d100
No, one.
You said from John or Gar?
100.
from Gambit.
Oh, also, okay.
Yep, also from Gambit.
Do we have a? How did we do that? I
It's the-
forgot.
It's
Right,
the
but-
double zeros.
Okay. Ah.
Okey-doke.
It might be 431.
And then I need another 1d100 from Chris.
Whoa, let's go!
Wow.
That's exactly the kind of number you wanted. The amount of people that end up showing up and coming in numbers out to 631.
Sheesh.
Not a bad start.
Whoa.
All right, so we already achieved one unlock. One contract unlock.
Yeah, you have secured yourself against the minimum attendance, which, I mean, his was literally just I don't want to be caught pulling the bag if 12 people come to both of your shows.
It's fair.
Let's see, you don't have to pay the 150 yet. You can, but you don't have to pay the 150 yet, as that's due by the end of Sunday for each night. But let's see. Curious.
So what's our profits? Or what's Garan's profit?
Technically, we have to wait.
John.
He has to wait for our rolls, and then he's going to tell us, like...
Yeah, go
No.
ahead and make your performance checks.
And then we get to spread the love around. All right, so I
All
haven't
right.
been...
So it's
Performance. I'm gonna use a freaking hero point
okay.
because I rarely use those. How do I do that again? Click it.
Just add a 1d4 into the
Oh, just add-
modifier window, I believe.
Fair enough.
I think does it. Let me check.
Oh,
It does
not.
not, but you can roll it and then add that number into the modifier window.
Okay, we'll just roll the d4. That was a great d4. And
I get
performance.
You get and
Wow,
and
that was crappy.
then John gets my d6.
Yep, you can add another
get a
d6
D6.
because you're bardically inspiring each other.
Sweet. Hey, I got a full 6
Got
on
up to a
that.
16. Nice.
17 with the d4.
Right, forgot about the d4. And then Garand has an extra 6 on his from the hero point and d8 from you.
Crazy.
Oh my god!
I don't remember
Whoa!
where was the advantage from? Was the advantage from
The spells, remember? She's burning.
That's right. Thicket burn your spell for advantage. Which were you casting it on both of them or just Garand?
Yeah, it was 3rd level so that we could both get it.
Oh, well, I'm going to roll
Thicket.
performance again and take the top.
Clarifying, you do cast that Thicket.
Ori?
Sorry, I'm checking the spell.
Maybe.
Okay, yeah, that is how it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I rolled a lot
Third
better
level.
the second time. Alrighty. What is 18 plus 7?
25.
25. Hey, that's pretty good for John.
It is an incredible performance, a variety of people clapping and talking about it. Which y'all will get your... Let's see, the contract specifically said by which point would he get you the admission proceeds within 2 days following the performance, so that they can do the count out and such. But you will get your 60% relatively soon. Within 2 days for sure, by the end of Monday at the very least.
We don't get what that is because they're taking the house.
You can do the math.
It'll be a surprise.
I mean,
it'll be.
I told you how many people were attending. You could do the math if you'd like. And
I performance we got would change like how much the
it's admission that's split.
There's not tip, right?
He basically said don't expect one because people don't tend to tip inside of a theater that they've already paid for.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, I'd say that even with the absolutely fantastic performance, you'll have a lot of good word of mouth from this, and a lot of attention, but you don't get tips from it.
All right, that's fine. And it can keep increasing each time.
It can. The performance checks gain word of mouth increases on future performances.
All right, and then do you? The idea was that you were gonna charge 2 spells from Thicket each day we do this because it's only lasts an hour and the performance is 2 hours.
Yes.
So. Do you want additional rolls, or is it just to keep the...
It's just to keep the advantage. I'm fine with using the 1 roll for the whole thing.
Okay.
Let me make sure that I've got this right. Information is correct. Doke, and you can wait until the next day to pay if you'd like, or you can pay now. But... I need to do. Everyone, the performance is fantastic. As Garand and John play, the crowd heavily enjoys themselves. There are at least 3 different pause for claps at the end of different songs, taking different audience measures, having prepped some of the songs that are in the performance that will show up later. You rock the house. It's...
Oh, yeah.
Borderline as great as it could be. As everyone eventually filters out around 4:30, I believe, was the end of the maximum performance time.
Out of like 6 rolls.
Yep. No later than 4:30. So as y'all end up clearing out, what do y'all do? I assume y'all are just like leaving from the place after talking to a few fans, a few people stopping you and thanking you for the performance.
Yeah, that last song was definitely one of those pop ballads that was all like, you know, gets everybody knows it, you know, so like
Heavy
it
crowd
makes
pleaser.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like until we have really money to outright pay them, we're gonna have to be like kind of yeah. And the idea would then be like maybe on Monday the payment or whatever, or Sunday, however it works out. Then we could sign the regular contract because we'll have the money to pay for the regular theater price or whatever.
When does admission close for the race?
End of Sunday the 11th, but you have already
We did, yeah.
entered the race
Okay.
for both sets of people. You're registered on both sides.
Right,
As
I forgot.
you exit, everyone filtering out into the crowd.
I figured Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday could be days where we are training.
Yes.
As you're looking into the crowd, enjoying the moment, the sound, people periodically, someone pointing out or coming up to you and shaking your hand, you hear a cracked voice from behind you. John, is that you?
Uh-oh.
I guess I turn around.
That's
and
you
look.
and any of the others who turn around.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, so John, a fan.
You see two people there. One shorter, probably 4'10", who seems to be the one having called your name. And another one who's just under as tall as you. I believe you're 6'1", is that right?
Yeah, I'm pretty tall.
6'2", so this guy is 6 foot. You see first the man, this older gentleman with a clean-shaven face, white hair, gray skin, and seemingly almost sparkles. Motes of light coming almost like stars from his skin. Wearing fairly normal clothes, standard commoner type clothes, and the shorter woman standing next to him, wrinkles of age on her face, her shoulder length, slightly curly, white hair, the same gray skin and eyes. You recognize these two people.
John's probably starting to sparkle and tear up a little bit.
As you see the woman begins to cry and will run up and wrap her arms around you.
Mirror the embrace.
Hmm?
Mirror the embrace a bit.
Man walks up and looks at you like a ghost before putting his arms around the both of you. He's the first to pull away, and she does not.
Yeah. Did you lose a tooth? Oh. What's wrong?
What?
Okay.
How are you here?
Well, it's a bit of a long story, but
I'd like to hear
more
it.
or less. Yeah, more or less. Got captured in the war and
You died.
yeah, I escaped and fled to Coral, and I've been living there for the past what was it, like 10-ish years or so?
She looks up at you, tears in her. Why didn't you come back?
Guess I didn't have the stomach to come back to my old life where I failed, more or less.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I didn't. I wasn't that great of a soldier. We got captured. My unit was killed. I didn't even. I was a bit of a coward and ran away.
She puts her face into your chest, still crying and holding on to you. As the man steps up on your shoulder. I understand how you felt. We missed you. Gravestone with your name on it. Couldn't have let us know you were okay. We would have forgiven you. You didn't mess up. I mean, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Maybe it was your fault, maybe it wasn't, but you're still welcome home.
Thank you.
We all make mistakes like this. Being gone for so
I'll say I'm glad to be home.
sorry, I'm still shocked. When the neighbor came to us, said she had a flyer. We couldn't believe it. I'm not even sure yet I do with it. I'm not trying.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily expect to see you guys. I have kind of been running from my past for a while.
You don't need to run from us. We'll help you face whatever else you're running from. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised I'm not angry at you. I'm just happy to have you back.
Me too.
Come on. Let's go home and it's over. Bring your friends too and tell us your stories. Hi. The older man waves over and the lady pulls away and wipes her face, looking over as well. I'm Jean. This is Jane. We're John's parents.
Oh, a pleasure to meet you, Grand Evenstar. Nephew to the Lord Evenstar of the South.
Okay.
And excellent compatriot of your dear son, who is a fantastic bard and learning to be quite the capable spellcaster.
I didn't realize you liked instruments.
I took them up in choral.
We'd have known sooner. Probably would have gotten you some lessons when you were younger.
Well,
I wasn't able to get here. We were able to get here in time to hear the performance. Could you play for us when we get back?
of course.
I'll make y'all something. As they will lead you toward the south side of the city, pretty close to the merchants district. And as they lead you there to the place John grew up, that's where we're gonna take a break.
You didn't have to make me tear up.
Listen, I got myself too. So saying stuff like that really gets you too. Dang.
It was beautiful. It was great.
Were we all there, or was it just Grand and...
Yeah, I would have been there. It was just out in front of the thing. And they didn't
Ron
really
just likes
care.
to introduce himself.
See, he gets me.
He does. Goran does like to introduce himself into things. Or just in general, he likes to introduce himself. Hi, I'm Goran Evanstar. Nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Goran Evanstar.
Thicket was gonna introduce himself, but they started crying again.
Yeah, that'll happen when you think your son's been dead for 15 years.
And Doug was just going to ask a few questions.
Oh, I'm sure he still will.
Thicket will lean over to Goran and whisper, "There was a war."
And Doug would have been like, why did they create a headstone when he's here?
Doug doesn't quite get it. Not yet, at least.
I honestly forgot that you were gonna bring in my parents, like, legitimately, because you told me about that like 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah, when I realized y'all wanted to do performance, I was like, there's no way they got out of this without y'all becoming known.
Yeah. Well, at least it was just my parents, not like the army.
So far.
I know.
Y'all did roll a nat 20 on that persuasion check to hand out and get word of mouth going. It was probably going to be the next day, the next performance, by the time they heard it, because someone would have seen it, and then word would have gotten back to them through a friend of a friend. And then Gambit got a nat 20. Or rather, Dicely got a nat 20. I'm gonna go refill my glass of tea.
Same. Well, not tea, but water.
When did I get a nat 20?
Didn't you get a nat 20 on the persuasion check?
No, it was
You
a
got a
natural
20?
19. Or it was a 9. I rolled a 9 and I got a 19.
I got a 20.
No, you got 20 when you got the flyers. No, you got a total of 23. And then Garad got a 20.
Oh. Somebody rolled really good to
Y'all
get those
rolled
flyers.
high when you were doing stuff, effectively.
How few people would we have gotten if we didn't roll the nat 20?
Let's see. The where's my numbers? The flyers are roughly 1d 100 per like 10 gold pieces worth, because people don't tend to respond to advertisements that much, especially when they don't know them. But then y'all rolled really well on the stuff, so I just gave you a full, I think it was 100, maybe I might have just been just straight 100 people from the flyers, and then your persuasion roll going pretty well, added an additional 1d4 times 100, plus 1d100, and then you got a 4 on the d4, and then got whatever amount it was, 30 or 31 on the d100, and then for Garon's additional roll, I had him roll another d100 to add to it. So if you rolled really poorly, you could have had just 100 people there. But
I rolled the best roll like 6 out of 7 times.
You did. By the way, y'all haven't been paid yet, but the math is 378 gold and 6 silver. I'm gonna get my water now.
Chris made one mention of Newsies, and now I've had King of New York stuck in my head on loop.
Gotta be either dead or dreaming. Just look at that page
Kirby.
with so how they made rat fishes in it. But I was a star for 1 whole minute.
Tap solo. Obnoxiously long tap solo.
It could also be a scat solo, you know.
Pair of new shoes with matching laces. Permanent box at the sheepshead races. Pastrami on rye with a sour pickle. My personal buzz on a wooden nickel. Look at me. I'm the king of New York.
Is that like the musical version instead of the movie one?
I don't know. I think so.
Okay, because how did you start that one just now before you got to the wooden nickel? What was the one like 2 or 3 before that? It said the permanent box at Sheep's Head Races. Yeah.
A pair of new shoes with matching laces. Permanent box at the Sheep's Head Races.
It says
on ride with a
cigars that cost a quarter. And
That's a
Star Reporter.
That's I think the next verse.
Oh, they repeat half of it. Okay.
Let me look up the lyrics.
Ooh. Did it.
Lyrics.
Yeah. Or from the movie, because I watched that movie like crazy.
Yeah, that's the second verse.
Okay.
I did it.
Yeah. Into musicals. Music.
The one I know is somehow different. Why? Why is the first verse different than what I know?
The porcelain tub with boiling water. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, they may have been trying to make it clean.
Yeah. There's also the A Saturday Night with the Mayor's Daughter.
Yeah. When my brain gets sick of repeating King of New York, then I switch to Santa Fe or what's it called? The one the girl sings.
So good. Oh, Is the Day? No. This is the story you wanted to write, but well, tonight's the night that you can. Just get this done, but dawn's early night. You can finish the fight you began. Think about seizing the day. They quote like all the other song titles in it. Think of that train as she rolls in Old Santa Fe. Tell her I'm on my way.
It's
title. I can't remember the title of that.
Where is the list of songs? I can sing the opening perfectly.
Yeah.
I'll get to the name of the title eventually.
Right. It's kind of where I'm at too. It's like, well,
Watch What Happens. There, that's it.
Write what you know, so they say. All I know is I don't know what to write or the right way to write it. This is big. Lady, screw it up. This is not some little vaudeville I'm reviewing. Poor little kids versus rich, greedy sourpusses. It's a cinch. It could practically write itself, and let's pray it does. Because as I may have mentioned, I have no clue what I'm doing.
Nice.
Neither, kid.
All right, so we'll be able to pay for the 2 days, John. We'll have a little bit of leftover from this first day and be able to pay the 2 days.
Nice.
And if you can keep snowballing one performance to the next, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe in a week or two, you'll just pack the house.
That's the plan.
As long as nothing bad happens.
Nothing bad ever happens in this perfect town.
There is no war in Bossing Say.
She said there is no war in Bossing Say. I should take a trip to Lake Laogai.
Simeon's probably not going to show up this entire session. I know I put him there, but gets to be thumbnail material.
I'm the king of New York. Suddenly, I'm respectable, staring right at your lousy with stature.
Need to take the time to write down a few of the spells I wanted to add to this.
With all the marketing box, I'm blowing my dough and going deluxe.
There I be.
Ain't I pretty? It's my city. I'm the king of New York.
What are we singing?
Newsies!
Specifically,
because we're handing out flyers.
Yeah.
Like the Newsies handing out newspapers.
I couldn't resist. I had to say, Newsies don't sell
He said the word Newsies, and now the entire musical's stuck in my head.
I haven't heard that one, actually.
It is definitely one of my favorites.
I should probably watch it. I've got a lot. There's a lot of musicals I really should watch. I just haven't gotten around to it because I'm watching so many other things.
All good, man. Yeah, that one's such a good ballad.
Poets are in hearse, they think we're nothing. Oh, we nothing.
Season 1 Arcane poster. Oh, is that the hug?
They think they got us. Do they
Welcome,
got us? Even though we ain't got hats or badges, we're a union just by saying so. And the world will know.
And
And the journal too. Mr. Hertz and Pulitzer, have we got news for you? See, the world don't know, but they're gonna pay.
It's great hearing someone else.
Archon headlines will be making them today.
And our ranks will grow. And we'll kick their
rears. And the world will know that we've been here.
Ooh.
Pulitzer may own the world, but he don't own us. Pulitzer may grab it,
Note
but
to
he
self,
won't
I do need to make that
own us.
still.
Maybe I will later. I don't. Oh, it doesn't really matter. All right, so dinner at John's.
Apparently.
Well. How the tables have turned.
Well. How the turntables.
How the turntables.
Yeah, that's the right way.
How the turntables. Tables, turntables, tables. Do you need that? Nice. I need to actually watch. I mean, I know I've said it like 3 times now on stream, but I've done it. I don't know if I did it before.
Yeah.
I've made a player tear up. Let's go. Add that to the list of things that I've done. Where's my D&D bingo card? Now I just need to get a TPK.
I mean, we are in the biggest city, right? So, good chance.
I mean, TPK, maybe it stands for Total Planning Catastrophe.
Catastrophe?
Yep.
Pretty sure it's the C.
Listen.
That's why it's a catastrophe.
Yeah, you even messed up this K. That's how bad of a catastrophe it was.
that is pretty catastrophic.
Okay. Back in the mental space to make people cry. Play an old lady and an old man. So I haven't seen a child in 15 years.
While Maury sings show tunes in her head.
While Maury sings show tunes. They could be depressing show tunes. That might help.
And a part of that bittersweet interaction, I was yelling at my dog because she was trying to get my chips. I think that's really funny. I was trying to pay attention and I'm like, oh, this is so sweet. And the next thing you know, I'm like,
Jack, are you here?
Are you sleeping?
Guess not. If you are, you're muted and it's not letting us hear.
I'm here.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yep. A little quiet, but that's okay. Okie dokie. Back in the game. As you are all led to the merchant district, to a bit off to the side of it, as there's the main area that has more of the businesses and more of the crafting areas. there is also surrounding it housing. That it looks like a lot of people that tend to work there tend to live nearby. Makes things easier on themselves. And a fairly small 2-story building, fairly boxed in on the buildings next to it, sits on the street that they lead you up to. There's one of the gutters is hanging partially off. Looks like it needs a little bit of work done, but otherwise it's in fairly good shape. Stepping up to the door, Jean unlocks the door and opens it to let everyone in, with Jane going first. Come on in, everyone. Assuming everyone steps in.
Yes.
It's
a trap.
It's a dragon. You see a giant fire-breathing dragon. And then the entire city explodes by nuclear bomb. Of course, just one thing after another. Next thing you know, we're playing Fallout. Haha, got you.
That's where my brain went too.
Playing a different campaign now. Haha, got you. No. A fairly simple.
I could not do a Fallout campaign. Sorry.
Too depressing.
Immediately no.
That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking about?
Why though?
Well, I have a fear of radiation.
No
so...
consequences.
Aw. Radiation, that's horrible.
I know too much.
I know enough to not care, which I don't know if that means I know too much or just barely not enough. Either way, you see a relatively simple but nice interior. A kitchen on the back end. The front side is a combination of almost a dining and a sitting room. The table looks like you can only normally seat about 6, but there are a couple chairs that Jean begins to push up to the table as Jane goes into the kitchen and begins to cook feverishly, making certainly enough food. There are stairs at the back side that go up to a second floor. Jane gets a pitcher of water and some glasses and sits down at the table.
Psst, Grand.
Yeah, it's.
I mean,
I'm looking for John to lead the way. This is his home.
yeah. I mean, we're in the dining room, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that what you said?
you're
Yeah.
in the main floor. That's one large open space that has the kitchen, dining room, and then sitting room.
I guess I'll sit down.
Grand.
Yeah.
There was a war?
I guess. We don't get a whole lot of news where I live.
I woke up 6 months ago.
It's funny, it's conveniently, you're probably the only 2 people that wouldn't be aware of it.
Right.
Perfect.
Wait, how old
Wait,
is
we
Garon?
Gambit now?
Gambit would have heard about it. I mean,
Oh.
it would have been when you were like 8, but you would have heard about it.
In the village that we lived in.
Yeah.
Hank around wouldn't know.
Interesting.
Is it-
Yeah, I,
Bill-
mean, I guess I'll sit down and.
Hey, so-
I'm sorry, what was that? I couldn't quite hear you.
oh, sorry. Thicket and I were just. Oh wait, that's still. I'm not thinking of New York. Thicket and I were just discussing the fact that neither of us really know much about any sort of war. Him being more recently given sentience or life or creation or whatever, and
Hi, I'm Thicket. I live in the woods.
To meet you, Thicket.
and then where I come from, there's not a whole lot of outside interaction. In fact,
I can understand that. I had to learn a lot about this country when I got here.
when he says that, does like Garon think that maybe he's from the same village?
That's up to you to decide. That's entirely your decision.
Does he look like he could be one of those elves?
He's not an elf.
Okay.
He is of
like,
the same race as
okay.
John.
Okay.
As you might guess. Both
Okay.
him
all right.
and Jane are Etheria.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know why, but just the way you said that at that particular time just made me think, like, is he adopted?
Have I told Garand what race I am?
I don't know if you've told the party. I don't remember.
I don't think so.
But he's of the same race.
Okay. Oh, so you come from more reclusive folk as well. Yeah. Don't know anything about it, and then I thought, well, they looks like they rebuilt everything very nicely. If it was a war, nothing looks destroyed.
Vacuo City didn't get damaged all that much. Yeah.
Not to mention it was like 10 years ago.
It was 15 years ago. Or like 13 when it ended? I think it was 13.
Oh, splitting the difference, are we? Alright, that's fine.
It was mostly down toward tough. Yeah. I guess I will explain for those of you who don't know. It's the old orc lord that there a while back. I can't recall his name, honestly. He made a bet that he could beat the queen, and he lost. That's the long and short of it. It was pretty drawn out. Things weren't the greatest for a bit, not in this area at least. But it worked out in the end, honestly. Found myself missing a son, but he puts his hand on John's, but I have him back now.
Sorry.
All's forgiven.
A bet is a really dumb thing to go to war for.
No, the orc thought he could take over the country. That Estrella, who had been crowned... Oh, let me check. He looks back at a book. He looks back at a book. Where is my book? 17 years ago, Estrella ascended to queenhood, took the job from her mother, and the orc thought thought that because she was so new, she wouldn't be able to effectively fend off him and his armies. She could. Turned out her, in addition to the soldiers of Vacuo, he nods over toward John, were more than enough of a match in the end.
No.
But funnily enough, we actually stopped another possible uprising in the east.
Oh, did you?
You might have heard. I don't know how word travels, but the messengers, and we took out the which one was it? Was it Vale?
No, it was Alexander. Vale's our friend.
Ah, right.
Oh, the Sun Lord down there? Huh?
Yep. His time had set.
Didn't realize there was stuff going on, but I don't tend to keep up with the politics. Right.
No, it's not a problem. Opportunity presented itself, and since he wanted to conscript effectively his entire nation, it seemed prudent to prevent that, and so therefore we did.
A few moments more, and Gene, could you help? As he gets up and helps bring to the table, effectively a platter of chicken on a stick, fruit, cheese, some vegetables, and bread. Nice spread of different things for you to eat.
Can I do something kind of strange?
Sure.
Can I insight check the parents to see if they're actually really his parents, or they're not someone pretending to be?
Roll an insight check into the tower.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that as well.
I was gonna lean over to Thicket and be like, "Hey, Thicket,
What?
can you cast detect poison?"
Let me see if I have it.
Would anyone else like to make checks?
I mean, I guess Gron can. He almost certainly won't know. But
I have detect magic. Take it or leave it.
take it or leave it. Like it's like, all right, we'll never cast detect magic again. I guess we'll leave it. I don't ever want to hear those words come out of your mouth. No more detect magic. Take it or leave it.
Took one. There we go. I've messaged you all what you would. The result of your vibe check.
Here's what I can.
So you stopped the insurgents. And what else have you been up to on the trip?
We're quite into marriage counseling. How fare things with you and your wife?
He gives you a very odd look. We're just fine. Thank you.
Great, that's fantastic.
Grond, I think my parents are good on the whole counseling thing.
Well, sometimes losing
Well,
and not finding fun could cause a reason to want to, have some little bit of session.
Majority of divorces happen after the loss of a child.
It's been 15 years.
I'm not sure your wounds ever will be over.
We're all right. Thank you. I mean, it was very hard for a while. And he looks at you, John. I'm sorry, but after a few years, I did take on an apprentice. Though, as he looks at the loot on your back, I don't know how much you care about inheriting the forge still.
I mean, if it's, I mean,
You still can.
if it's still on the table, I mean, I did actually work a forge while I was in Coral.
I'm
So
glad.
I did keep up my skills a bit.
I'm glad you didn't leave because of that.
No, that got more or less, that line of training got me to where I am today. I mean, and that whether that's good or bad, I'm not sure.
Well,
But
as long as it served you.
the skills you taught me definitely kept me alive and fed.
And when the time comes, it will go to you. I will have to change my will. But
I mean, if you've already bequeathed
I haven't.
bequeathed it to someone else, I don't want you to go back on your word to someone else.
Oz doesn't expect to get anything. I mean, he might, but I think he'll understand, knowing that it's returned. But if you'd like to still let him work there, he is quite a good smith. He actually runs it most days. Gives me some time to write a bit. I found a lot of the academics don't actually know that much about the ethereal plane, so I thought I'd write a memoir.
Well, I can't imagine there are too many ethereal academics. So it's
The wizards
not
at
a
the
bad idea.
college sure think they are. They don't know anything.
I mean, are any of them ethereal?
I don't think any of them are ethereal. Not that I've met, at least.
Well, then they really couldn't know much, could they?
The conjurers think they have an idea. One or two of them have stepped in for a moment here and there, but not like the time we have. Granted, you don't remember much. I don't expect.
Not really. I mean, I step in occasionally, just to out of necessity, but.
Well, if you ever decide to go back, I'd be happy to give you some tips. But at the same time, it's, despite everything, a bit safer on this side of the veil.
I agree.
How obvious is a casting of Detect Magic?
It has a semantic component.
What components does it have?
I think it does, doesn't it?
Oh,
Detect magic.
It says vocal and semantic.
Oh, vocal and semantic. That's like double jeopardy there.
Yeah, it's definitely seeable.
It will be noticed.
It will be noticed. The cat over in the corner whispering and moving their hands. Yeah.
I'll hold off.
Why are you so suspicious?
Thicket is suspicious of every new person.
To be fair, we kind of have a habit of doing that.
Would John catch on?
Which is so funny because I don't think I've thrown a changeling at you yet.
Would John catch on to
yeah, you did. What are you talking about? That crazy chick that made me so mad.
One.
Did I? Did I send it?
That assassin.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, I guess she did have disguise self a lot. Yeah.
I was thinking
of specifically like
on the background.
Yeah, I was thinking of specifically like doppelgangers and stuff, and I was like, I haven't thrown a doppelganger at you yet. I did in fact throw someone pretending to be someone else. It's true, I have. Never mind. Continue.
Yeah,
your concern pirate. Is warranted.
Yes, mouse pirate.
Yeah,
Would I be able to sense Gron and Thicket's concern?
What's your insight? What's your passive insight?
Passive insight?
Yep. 10 plus your insight modifier.
12.
With the distraction of your parents...
sorry, insight modifier is 0, sorry.
Yeah, I don't think you would.
10. Yeah. Okay.
He would continue to ask you questions and talk about the city, about things you missed. Jean would come over with pie. 3 pies, actually.
Yay.
And,
is it? Are these minced children pies?
That's they are fruit pies. Be clear, they are fruit. There is honey, peach, and effectively, I keep saying effectively. I need to drop that for a minute. I've been saying it a lot.
Effectively? You mean actually?
Yeah, actually.
Literally, but is it literally?
Yeah, literally. I'm just gonna say a blueberry pie. Blueberry, strawberry, and peach, because that's what came to mind. And you know what? I've decided she's an old Southern lady. The chicken on a stick is now fried. Boom.
She is 4'11", so
they're also waffles.
It matches.
There are not waffles currently now. Chicken is fried.
We're gray, not black. Come on.
Okay, that's well, that's something to wonder if it'll ever come back to bite me. Probably not.
I jest.
We jest. We love old ladies here. Of all kinds. Except for the really, really angry ones at nursing homes. They could be a problem. Anywho, though.
No, keep digging.
I don't need to dig this hole any deeper.
Micah, where'd you go? I can't see. Oh, wait, there you are.
Yeah, there I am. Yep, I'm 6 feet under already. Bye. They would continue talking until you stop them.
Well, what time does the performance end?
About 4:30.
Do we have any more commitments today?
You? We don't.
No. I mean,
are we supposed to go to the performance tonight?
We don't have to. It's more like we're like an opening act to like encourage and drum up business for them in the night, which is part of why I thought we would be able to, work this whole deal out anyway, was because like we're effectively advertising for them while also performing for ourselves.
honestly, I hadn't thought far enough ahead to figure out what I was going to do if John's parents came around. I mean, what are our other goals in town? We did the thing with Simeon.
Yep.
We need to do something about a sword, right? Can't remember.
We want to see about looking up information that they might have in town about the sword in the east. Oh, where did I put it? Went way. The serpentine calcite. And so what maybe learned about that, and then if we can learn about the witches in the north, which are Grant is betting his hags.
Witches in the north being calcite.
Yeah, the north of calcite, and then training.
When are we supposed to meet up with the church or whatever for Thicket's quote unquote doctor's appointment?
His what do they call that?
Exorcism.
Exorcism, yeah.
DM, I forgot what Simeon said about scheduling.
To go to them, or rather to send a message through him when you decide when you'd like it.
Okay.
But he would have to probably schedule it, but that it would be done through
And
him,
then-
so he could ask for a favor.
Then we've got the race to do. And we need to, let's see. Don't we need to like pay we already paid for entrance, right? Or no?
For the race, yeah, we're covered on the race.
Okay. I'm just trying to think if there's anything that they would know that would be useful that we would need to know.
See, is there any way we can utilize my parents to get us what we
Not trying to be, like
Hey, Mom and Dad.
using them, but they've lived here a while.
They have.
They might know a thing or two.
Do they have a
on.
bathroom?
Yes,
They have a bathroom.
they do.
How secluded is it?
Pretty secluded. Has a closed door.
Thicket's gonna excuse himself to the bathroom and try and cast Detect Magic.
You do so.
Can't you only detect magic within like 15 feet?
It's a pretty wide range. Let me check.
Or is it 60 feet?
30 feet.
You have to be able to see the thing that's magic.
So you have to be like down the hallway.
Well, it stays on after you cast it, so you can cast it and then it lasts for now. You can cast it and then walk out into the room.
Thicket goes to the bathroom and washes his hands with Detect Magic.
What is the effect of detect magic? Does it like just let the user know, or is it like
you can kind of see it?
Okay.
I keep opening and closing this spell.
Well, maybe you should just leave it open.
Okay. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic. And you learn its school of magic, if any. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but it's blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. The end.
While in the bathroom, you do sense magic, because I guess you do, even if you can't see it, you can generally sense it.
Where?
Well, you have to use an action to see it, don't you?
Yeah. While standing in the bathroom, you use an action and you don't see anything.
I'm gonna ask. What was it, Jean?
Jean is your father, yes. Jean's your father. Jane is your mother. John is you.
If he could melt down this dagger I have, that sort of a reminder that I'm not gonna leave anyone behind again. But I want him to melt it down into like something that's like a pin or something, not like a dagger, not a weapon.
Over. Yeah, can do. You want to help me? From the sounds of it, it's important for you to be a part of this. So if you'd prefer, I can just do it.
Yeah, that's good. We can do that.
We'll do so
Well,
tomorrow.
and don't
then.
forget, they invited us for a small concert, so we might want to perform for them soon.
Oh yeah, we could totally perform for them. Yeah, I guess. What's her? I keep forgetting her name.
Jane.
Jean and
Jane and Jane. Jane, John. It's your
I
own
know.
fault.
I came up with the
Your
names,
own
and I keep
fault.
forgetting
I
them.
didn't name them.
I'm gonna tell Jane. Yeah, I didn't grow up liking music because enamored by the military and forging and such, but you know, middle age has tempered me a bit, I think. I grew to appreciate it more.
It is odd seeing you so much older. Does Garon begin to play?
Yeah, well, yeah. He's like,
can-
they did invite us for a concert, and so he kind of gets out and ready. He's tuning, but that's the roll for whenever John rolls.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, did you assume bardic inspiration too?
Yeah. Give it to you.
All right. Fair enough. Wow, that was a horrible roll. What the heck?
as Garon kind of overplays John a bit, as John is struck by the nervousness and the emotions of the situation. You have a much harder time focusing on the music, whereas Garon just keeps playing along, kind of stealing the show. Take it. You head back out into the room.
Yep.
Are you attempting to look for magic?
Yeah.
The only magic you see, the only items that come up when you use the action, are the ones that are all of the magic items that are on your friends. You don't detect anything magical coming from Jean or Jane.
I'm sorry, but that's kind of ironic that she only sees all the, or that he only sees all the stuff we're carrying.
Yeah, it's all magical stuff. After a bit goes by of talking and playing, well, would you like to, you can all spend the night if you'd like. I don't know if you have a place in town, or if you need to be somewhere in the morning or anything.
I think our only commitment is we have to play again at the theater tomorrow.
Good. We'd like to watch you if we can have the opportunity.
Of course.
I'd like to get as much time with you as you can. Will you be going off on adventures and things still?
I think time being. Maybe eventually I'll settle down again. I sort of got tired of being in one place. And so I think I joined this party like a month ago? What was it? May something?
Jane looks like she's about to say. I'm sorry. Jane looks like she's about to say something, and Jane puts his hand on hers. We'll be here whenever you come back. We understand what it's like to need to look for adventure. We all have to at some point.
Oh, it hasn't even been a month. It's been like 3 weeks. May 20. Yeah. That's what I have in my notes. Second session, I wrote down May 20.
Because I have y'all arriving at Delta on the 7th of...
Oh. Maybe I'm wrong then. Oh, no, that was like... Second session, we started in Vane.
Yeah, it was like the very end of April, beginning of May that y'all...
Oh, yeah, because we traveled to Vane and it took a while.
Yeah.
I didn't write down the date of that first day, so...
Neither did I. We'll be here when you come back, God willing. God's willing.
Yeah, I think we have a place to stay tonight,
Alright, you all get some rest.
Yeah. We will see you tomorrow.
As you all make your way back, is there anything you'd like to do with the evening as you return to the inn?
Garan says, "Pleasure to have met you on the way out."
You as well. It was nice to meet all of you. Good to know he has some people looking out for him.
I'm getting tired personally, so unless they're gonna speed the next day.
One more thing, the next
Okay.
that will happen before the end. So I was thinking of ending it a couple minutes early just because I have a thing. But if there's anything I want to do on the way back or over the night, you can.
Keep talking about how great that
No.
Ron, you overplayed a little bit back there.
What are you home?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Sorry. It's starting to become habit.
I guess that's allowable.
I think I really found my rhythm and my sound in that last town.
Well, and I'm happy for you.
And Jack,
It's been quite fun.
he's... Oh, sorry. Continue.
I should say we did spend quite some time there.
Yeah. Well, thank you for playing with me, regardless.
Jack,
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
I need to stop talking for a minute.
Go ahead, Micah.
Jack, did Doug have questions? I know you mentioned them, but I don't think you got to ask them. Did you want to do anything with him?
I think, like always, Doug is more of like an observer at first, and then is still slow to the conversation. So, like, I think he would be more surprised the fact that John has parents, and yet is not gonna stay with them for a night or so. So as they walk back, Doug would ask them questions. But if we're gonna end here, then that's
You can
okay
ask
too.
a couple of questions real quick.
John, I know you've been away for a while, but like, don't you think you would at least want to stay with your parents for like a night or two and just join us during the day?
I'm not sure how I feel about the whole situation yet. I think I just need a day to like process all that's just happened here before I go sleeping in my boyhood bedroom or something. I mean, because this is like a lot to process, seeing them after 15 years.
But like, what is there to process? Like, your family, right?
True.
So, like,
But it's almost like coming to terms with someone coming back to life, isn't it?
so,
Like you need a little bit of time to wrap your head around it.
I mean, I guess, like, I don't know what that feels like.
I can't say I know what it feels like for someone to actually come back from death either, but
like, I think the closest I've gotten to that experience is passing out, but I don't know if that counts.
I just need some time to process and come to terms with it, I think. Before I go reminiscing too hard. Not that my childhood was bad, but I think if I spend too much time with them right at this moment, I won't want to leave ever. And I don't know that that's, I enjoy traveling and adventuring, and I don't know that I want to stop.
I guess that makes sense.
And I guess I fear that if I get too attached or too, what do you call that? Not reminiscent, but nostalgic, that I won't want to leave.
But I mean,
and Garand obviously needs me for his performances, so.
I mean,
you are a fantastic good luck charm.
Ending your walk and taking a rest for the night. Go ahead and long rest the party.
Sweet.
As it gets to 5 a.m. the next morning, there is a loud knocking on the door.
Who's gonna answer it?
I'm sorry, I missed something. What? Something was waiting for us?
Knock on the door at 5 a.m.
I would ask if there's a peephole, but I think it would be too short even if there is one.
Is there a cat door?
There is not. There is one of those like chains that you can have on it.
I mean, Gron, not always the wisest, right? Gron will go over with the chain. Yes, good morning. It's a little early. How may I help you?
As you open the door, you see two people. The first is a female dragonborn. She is a she's a silver dragonborn. I'll put that there. You see the female dragonborn and then a male elf standing behind her. Both of them are wearing fairly standard military garb that you would kind of be able to associate with Vacuo, with a curved dragon on the symbol, with a hammer in the center. Basically a hammer with a dragon circling around it. As you shift open the door. Or John Halston?
Yes.
Please open the door.
Grond, open it.
Um,
They're just gonna break it down if you don't.
All right, so very sleepily, very slowly. Like, it's just agonizing how long this takes him. He lets it go, and he's slowly peeling it back. They maybe knock him over, I don't know, but
You step in, the female dragonborn, just kind of looking past you before walking toward John. Pulls out a set of papers. John Houston, not Private Thava.
Yes, Private.
She seems to fume for a moment before regaining her composure. You are hereby under orders not to leave the city until after your fate can be determined on Wednesday, the 28th of June, as you are being charged with desertion. She sets the papers forward. Personally, I would have taken you into custody.
Garon is like sleepily, but he's also lying. But
he does make really good pancakes.
He's in trouble for making desserts.
I'm sure Sergeant Halston knows the severity of his crime.
Are they little thin on troops that they're sending privates out to do an MP's job?
That's what I was thinking. Gibbet's hiding under the bed, by the way. He doesn't say that out loud.
See, this is in part just because I'm Micah. I forgot that MPs were a thing. We serve where we can, especially during peacetime. You have your orders. Your image has been given to the guards at the various exits. You will not be allowed to leave. Turns on her heel. The elf silently follows.
Feel free, just come see him at the show. Grant looks back at John's like, oh, he looks like you've got your own stories, lad. Love to hear him, sir. Sergeant, Major, Captain.
Yeah, that's Sergeant, but yeah.
I think on that, no. You can say one more thing if you'd like.
Well, yeah, seems I may have to tell you guys the whole story at some point, because it will all come out at a trial, apparently.
Yeah, we've got time for breakfast. Ain't that right, Jackie?
And that's where the session will end.
Best yet.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you were going to get me arrested or not, because that would be kind of boring for me if I was just sitting in a cell.
I decided
or the party had to break me out somehow.
I decided
that wouldn't go over well.
There are several reasons. One is because it would be less interesting.
True.
Others include the fact that it's a 15-year-old case.
True.
As well as a couple other conspiring factors. But I was like, yeah, it's more interesting if he just... If you're not arrested for the whole time, at least.
Alrighty.
Though,
I mean,
unless you can get, maybe a military escort, does mean John can't technically go to the race because it's outside of the city walls. So unless you can convince the military to let you.
Well, wait. I'm not even participating in the race. I was just gonna watch, right?
Yep. But the race takes place.
Somebody.
But the race takes place outside of the city walls.
Yeah, but I was just gonna polymorph somebody. That doesn't have a distance. It just requires concentration, doesn't it?
Yeah. You can polymorph and let them go. I'm just saying you can't go out there and watch. You could probably watch from the wall of the city, but you can't be on the track.
Well,
unless you get.
Well, could he get could?
Wait.
Yeah,
how far away is the track
get
from
someone
the city?
to follow him out there.
Yeah,
like a guard or
saying,
something.
if you got the guards to let you, you might be able to swing.
How far away is the track from the city?
The edge of the track is...
Check it out.
1,000 feet.
Okay. Two things.
If I'm remembering my distances correctly.
Will there be guards at the track?
Yes.
Okay.
There are far too many citizens, as well as political figures there for there not to.
Well, I mean, you forget. I have the race only takes an hour. I have disguise self. I can walk through walls and dimension door.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying. As far as
I can totally get out of the city.
Oh, probably. They don't know that, but I'm just saying. It's technically you're not allowed to, but that's a technically.
Technically, yeah.
If all else fails, Thicket has polymorph too.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, I think we're more than capable of sneaking out.
Yeah. Oh, lots of stuff. I find it very funny that just by nature of where y'all chose to go, the first character to get a really large amount of personal stuff is John. His personal quest will more or less be completed first. One way or another.
What kind of criminal goes back to his hometown and announces his appearance?
I didn't write the flyer.
Legal name.
I didn't write the flyer.
And you didn't stop him from printing it either.
Sure didn't.
I honestly wasn't thinking about it.
If you just hadn't, it probably still would have taken a couple of days for someone to have recognized you.
Somebody would have recognized me eventually.
Eventually, but it would have taken a couple of days, not that
The only
night.
other sparkly gray guy in the city.
Yeah, I mean, there are technically a couple, but there are very few Etheria. Even, like, on the material plane, there are very few Etheria.
Yeah. I'm sure Jean is well known.
Oh, yeah. An Etheria who owns a forge called Ethereal Forgings? Yeah. I enjoyed the session. I had a good time.
That was fun.
Hope y'all enjoyed it too.
I love you guys. I'm going to bed.
I'm going to go ahead and end the YouTube side here. Good night, YouTube, as well. Bye. See you next week.